Wolves are looking good, and it's getting towards squeaky bum time, not itchy bum time. What's going on, everybody? Charlie here from Charlie Francis Football, bringing you your preview for Manchester United versus Brighton. Let's go. Okay guys, so 4 things that I would like to speak to you today about, and that is Ole Gunnar Solskjaer's press conference this morning, predicted lineups, key figures, and of course my score prediction. Let's get into it. Okay, so starting with Ole Gunnar Solskjaer's press conference this morning. You have no idea how many times I've had to shoot this because I cannot say his name on camera. Ole Gunnar Solskjaer, press conference this morning. So, what did we learn? Basically, not much. No new injury updates, basically same players still out. Phil Jones and Axel Tuanzebe aren't going to be available for the match. I also believe that Ethan Laird is out as well. But that's basically it on the injury front. The big news, of course, was that Angel Gomez will not be renewing his contract at Manchester United. Now, I know a lot of you guys are going to be hitting the ceiling about this, thinking it's just the same as the Paul Pogba situation all those years ago. A brilliantly talented young player rising up through the ranks, doesn't meet his potential at United, only to go and realise it at another club. And yes, I can't deny that I was disappointed to hear that he's not going to be sticking around, but I do not think that Manchester United have made a mistake or done anything wrong in not giving him the contract that he is asking for. One of the biggest issues that I've seen since Alex Ferguson's retirement has been player power at our club. Now, when Sir Alex Ferguson was around, there was one boss and one boss only, and the players knew it. We all remember the high-profile sales of David Beckham, Ruud van Nistelrooy, and of course, Roy Keane. If a player got out of hand or was difficult to manage or had disciplinary issues, they were out the door. And I don't know that that's the case with Angel Gomez, but I'm sick of seeing players have all the power at United. We saw it, of course, under Jose Mourinho. Paul Pogba didn't like him, and what happened? Jose left. I think that Manchester United have done the right thing in setting up shop and not moving. If he goes and realises his potential at Inter Milan, let's say, or even at Chelsea, then frankly, best of luck to him. We can't have all of the best players in the world, and yes, it would be disappointing if he goes and becomes the next Lionel Messi at a different club, but like I said, it's more important to have a team structure in place than it is to keep an individual that may or may not become great. You need to have stability at your club. You need to have rules. You need to have discipline. And you have to stick to them. If you break the rules, you break the system, you break the structure, then you have issues like we have with Alexis Sanchez. We never should have given him the contract that we did, but we did because we were desperate. And now look at us. He's off playing Inter Milan while we're paying half of his wages. We are still paying upwards of £200,000 a week for a player that doesn't even wear our shirt. That happened because we were desperate. We're not desperate anymore, and we shouldn't take desperate actions because some 19-year-old wants £30,000 a week. Don't get me wrong, I'm sure Angel Gomez is going to be a terrific player, and I'm sure his attitude is great, but just because he wants something doesn't mean that Manchester United, the biggest club in the country, has to give it to him. I think that Manchester United have done exactly the right thing in not moving to his will. And hey, if you disagree, please tell me all about it in the comments. Also, one other thing I'd like to mention on this is people saying that Angel Gomez is leaving because he hasn't been starting or hasn't been featuring for Manchester United. I just want to say that is absolute rubbish. Manchester United weren't featuring him or starting him because he wasn't signing. Why the hell would we give minutes to a player that was refusing to sign a contract? Now, if you're a manager or you employ people at home, what would you do if one of your employees said that they're not going to come to work tomorrow unless you give them a raise? Would you just say, okay then? No, of course not. Of course you wouldn't. You cannot pander to your employees, especially one so young, so inexperienced, and so unproven. Again, I'm sure Angel is a terrific lad, and I hope to God he becomes a terrific football player, but Man United did the right thing in not bending to his will. Okay, so moving forward from Angel Gomez and looking forward to the game, we've got Brighton and Hove Albion at the Amex Arena. What am I expecting? I don't know. So I think the game is either going to go one of two ways. It's either going to be good or it's going to be bad. That's about the... That's about the extent of my analysis. See you guys tomorrow. No, I'm kidding. I'm expecting Manchester United to win because we have to. Make no mistake, if we drop any more points, I think that we're going to really, really struggle to make the top 4 this season. I still think that we're going to get to the Champions League. I think the 5 will be good enough, and I think that we'll probably win the Europa League. So I'm very, very confident that we'll be in the competition next year, but I want to be in the competition from finishing 4th. Anything less is not good enough. We're the biggest club in the country and we need to stake a claim for next season. Finishing 3rd would do that. Finishing 4th wouldn't be a failure. Finishing 5th, in my opinion, would be. So we cannot drop any more points. Every single game in the Premier League from here until the end of the season has to be a cup final. I think that we have to play our best 11 in every single match and do our best to win the games before the hour mark or before halftime so that we can give players a rest then. I think that it is crucial that we start our best 11 and make sure that history is not repeated when we visit the Amex Arena tomorrow. Of course, as you guys know, we've lost on the last 2 visits there, but every run comes to an end. I'm predicting that Manchester United will win and will win fairly comfortably, but to do so, I think that we have to start our best 11. Now, what does that look like? Well, for me, it's David De Gea in goal, Wan-Bissaka and Luke Shaw at the fullback, with Maguire and Lindelof in the central defensive positions. I want to then see Matic anchoring the midfield with, of course, Bruno and Pogba on either side of him, obviously. Now in the front 3 positions, I would like to see Mason Greenwood on the right hand side because I think he has looked electric since the restart of the season. With every day that goes past, I think that boy gets better and better and better, and I'm really excited to see his development at Manchester United. Now I know none of us can wait for Rashford, Martial and Sancho next season, but in a couple of years, Rashford, Greenwood and Sancho for England as well as United, oh, talk dirty to me. It's filth, absolute filth. Anyway, that's my 11. We've got Matic, Pogba, Bruno, Rashford, Martial and Greenwood making up the rest of our team. Now that 11 is of course good enough to beat Brighton, but I am expecting to see a low block again, but with a little bit more danger in the counter-attack. Beating Arsenal will have given Brighton a hell of a morale boost, but I actually think that they were a little bit lucky. I think that they're going to have all the will in the world, but I don't think they're going to have the quality necessary to get anything from the game. I think that this is for Manchester United to lose, and I'm predicting Marcus Rashford to be a key figure in this game. He was incredible before the horrendous back injury he sustained at Wolves, and while it's taken him a couple of games to get up to match sharpness, the closer he gets, the better he will be. He was excellent against Sheffield United and very, very unlucky not to get a couple. And while he looked off the pace against Norwich, I think that the minutes that he got in that game are only going to be a good thing for his preparation. I think Marcus Rashford will be one to watch at the Amex Arena, and I'm predicting him to score twice, I think. Bruno Fernandes getting 1 assist, Paul Pogba the other. Second player I think we should all keep our eyes on is Luke Shaw. I think that this is a bit of a make or break game for him. Not for his United career, but for how well the restart has really served him. I think that if he can build on the chance he created against Norwich, of course our first goal coming from him pushing down to the byline and putting the ball in across goal, I think that if he can take that momentum and grow with it, then our left-hand side is looking very, very promising. I would really love it if we saw a little bit more attacking motivation from Luke Shaw, a little more determination to hit that byline and hit a good ball into the box. I think that the more Luke Shaw overlaps, the more opportunities Marcus Rashford is going to get. Therefore, I think that Shaw is going to be influential in any goals that Marcus Rashford gets in this game. So I'm predicting that Manchester United will be at their most dangerous down the left-hand side. We know that Paul Pogba loves those long-range balls over the top of the defenders down to Marcus on the left flank, and I think that Bruno is going to find Marcus excellently in and around the box. So I'm going to have my eyes on those 2 guys. Finally, guys, my score prediction. Now, I called 4-0 against Norwich, and of course we finished 2-1. I think we're going to win this game, and I think that our final score will be comfortable, but I actually think that for long periods of the game it's going to be a little tighter than we would like. I think it's going to be 2-1 at half time, and I think that Manchester United will be able to kill the game towards the end as Brighton try and press on looking for an equaliser. So I'm predicting a 3-1 victory for Manchester United. And there you go, guys, that is my preview for Man U versus Brighton. I'm expecting United to keep up their winning ways in this game. I think that, like I said, it's going to be a struggle, but I do think we're going to have enough to get us over the line, keeping us on course for a lossless end to the season. I think that we're going to be able to go the rest of the Premier League unbeaten, and I think we need to do so if we're going to challenge for the top 4. Wolves are looking good, and I'm getting a little bit, it's getting towards itchy, no, squeaky bum time, not itchy bum time. Wolves are looking very good, as are Chelsea, and the squeaky bum time does seem to be just around the corner. So 3-1 Manchester United, Marcus Rashford, Luke Shaw, key players to look out for, and bye-bye Angel Gomez. Best of luck to you. So that's that, guys. If you liked the video, please hit the like button. If you loved it, go ahead and subscribe, and I will see you after the game for my review. Ciao for now.